Good morning, Karin. How are you?
I'm awesome, Jason. How are you?
Good. So what are we doing here today? What are we getting ready to do?
Well, we were out all day yesterday in South Carolina, and we visited our favorite bin store and met with our favorite BFFs in the reselling community, and we got a big pile of stuff. And so what we're doing today is we're going to show you guys how we process, how we intake everything. And it's kind of a learning experience for us too, because as you may know, we've instituted a new system again for how we process both bringing items in, put them along the chain, and then ultimately list and sell them. So this pile here is, let's see, it's a bins trip, a retail Goodwill trip, back to the bins trip, so 3 spots, another Goodwill, and 2 more thrift shops, correct?
I think that's right.
I think so. Our goal yesterday was 43 items. So we both think that we more than made that goal. We went ahead and picked up some more bins over there. We've reverted to that, well, for a couple of reasons, but they're very sturdy and they're gonna work best for us. So let's just jump right in.
All right, guys. So we're going to start processing, and we'll show you what we get here. Karin's got a form I think she wants to share with us.
Yep, we can put it on in a different way, but just so you see, we created this form, 1, because we do all of these things anyway, but 2, when we add on another person or 2 in February, this is the list and order that things are going to go in so far. And we're still fleshing some of it out. We might combine or change some things around, but that's everything on paper that we're currently doing to intake, process, etc. So hopefully you can see it and it's helpful. All right, here we go.
And just to add on, that form goes with a bin throughout the process, so we always know where a bin is, like whether it's being quality control, whether we're photographing it, whether it's been entered into inventory, whether it's been listed, and so on. So we can always have a batch, we call it a bucket actually, and we always know exactly where it'll be and the process, and then we can just, once we're done with it, we just put it in inventory, and there we go.
Yeah, it's funny, the reseller vocab. We noticed, I brought to Jason's attention yesterday that we're calling the Goodwill outlets bin stores, and we were talking about how that came to be. And I thought it was kind of funny that eBay vocab also has a word called bin or buy it now. We're calling the things that we are about to put them in bins. So we've decided to keep it simple. If you hear us say bin, hopefully, we're going to get caught on this, you know it, because we're going to do it wrong and people are going to say, I did it wrong.
It is what it is.
But right, outlets are outlets, bins are bin, buy it nows, and these things we're going to call buckets. We got that from our friends Tiffany and James, but the bucket is going to follow the clothing item through each step of the way.
All right, what do we want to start with?
Why don't we start with the smallest first, which is this one.
Okay.
What did we decide this one was from? This was...
That was the thrift store, the second thrift store, right?
The final thrift store.
Right, the second thrift store.
Yep.
Wait. Not the, yeah. So, all right.
It has a pair of shoes. And this is a store that we went to where I think you posted something on the Facebook where every clothing item was $1. And if you bought 5, you got 3 free, right? So you could potentially get 8 pieces for $5, which was pretty cool. And we ended up in this one with these cool Echo shoes. They are oh crap, what's that called? I can't even read it. I don't have my glasses on. It's the stuff that doesn't water can't get through it.
Oh, waterproof.
No, there's a word for it. What's that little word?
I don't know. I can't see it far. It's okay.
Gore-Tex.
Gore-Tex. Ah. All right, so how many items do you have there, Karin?
So there's a pair of shoes.
All right, let me put that in. Hang on, shoes. All right.
Come out of these icky bags. And we ended up, I think we ended up with 5 clothing items, or 4, and then we ended up paying extra. We gave them 1 plus the 3 free. We gave our free ones away to our friends because we didn't meet the thing. So Tiffany, you owe me $1. I'm just kidding. So this is a Patagonia.
So a
Yeah.
miscellaneous.
So that'll go in there. It has a little bit of a mark on it, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. And then we have, of course, 3 pair of jeans. And nothing too special about them, but at $1, how do you pass them up, right? So Coldwater Creek, some American Eagles, and some It jeans from California.
So 3 pair of jeans.
Uh-huh. Now the problem with doing the video this way is now...
And was that it for that load?
Yep.
All right. So we paid $8. We paid $8 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. So we paid $1.60 an item, which is pretty good. Pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you have to divide it by our numbers though, because one of them went away. 3, 4, 5. So the 5 of them are ours. What was yesterday's date? What's today's date?
The 26th was yesterday.
So 5 items.
Yep.
And that was...
And I've got it entered. I'm gonna show everybody what I entered here too, guys. I'm just gonna show you my screen. So this is gonna get a little wonky, but I'm gonna do my best to show you. Basically what I enter is, you can see, I'm not gonna show this for all of them, but you can see that we enter the shoes, the Patagonia, the 3 jeans, and then over here we enter in how much we paid for them, which was the inventory cost. And over here we actually enter where we got them, like the store and the address and so on. So that all goes with the bin. So when I go in to list these, I'm going to know exactly what I paid for them. When I put these in my inventory in QuickBooks Online, I'll know my cost of goods sold when these items sold will basically be $1.60 for each one. So just want to show you guys that. So let me set this back up.
So then they end up in whatever the bucket is, paper goes on top, and then we put them to the side. In this case,
Yep.
we'll show you where they're going, but they're not going to be able to go there because there's no room.
Yeah, we have no room. We got too many to process.
So we've made a commitment that, and it's one of discipline that we all need to abide by, and it's at some point you have to stop the funnest part, which is the thrifting and the thrill of the hunt and all that, and buckle down and list.
Yep.
Because the stuff is not going to sell itself.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. Well said, young Karin.
All right, and so these don't count. I'm going to go ahead and move them out of the mix because these, last week when we went down to the bins, we were overcharged for an item by about $40. So it was my job to get it returned and credited back, so I did, and that's what this is. So, and they were very gracious. And I actually found about another 5 items that we returned. So we got a little $5 credit that we ended up spending again anyway, and then so these don't count.
That's because if I would have went in there to do that return, it would have gotten ugly.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you get more bees with honey, right? Although
Right.
there's some interestingness about that.
All right,
as to
what do
how
we
to
got?
attract
What do we
bees
got
with
next?
honey. Bees like pollen. Let's go ahead and do. Let's do. Is this retail? What's this one?
That's the shoes that went with one of the Goodwills. With that Goodwill.
All right, so then this was Goodwill number 2 or number 1?
That
Number
was
2.
number 2, I believe.
All right,
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and check
Do
in
it?
on that. Yep.
All right, hang on. I will get the receipt. Keep your receipts, everybody, so that you, can prove your expenses. Hang on, let me find it here.
So we're just going to put these back in. We're not quality controlling them now. We're just...
Right. Obviously. Yes. All right. So it should only be 4 items from that store. Does that seem right?
We'll see. Well, I don't know. 1 pair of shoes.
Yeah. The second store we only got 4. We got a pair of shorts, 2 ladies' jeans, and a pair of shoes.
Oh, this is my jacket.
Oh, that's a different. Okay, that was a personal purchase, so that doesn't count.
Well, I'm going to put it on. So it's a lambskin jacket that I'll either keep for myself or I will sell it. All right, so 1 pair of shoes so far. Actually, 2 pair of shoes?
Should only be 1 pair and one of them. There was a.
Well, then where do these shoes go that were in?
Well, they were bagged separately. Was my point. They were bagged separately with one of the stores. We got 2 bags from the same store.
Okay.
So they go, and that's the Denim Skirt. That's the second one we got. They go with a small bag that has a pair of shorts and 2 ladies' jeans. And it should be a Goodwill bag.
Yeah, not these shoes. This one has one pair of shoes in it.
Dansko's? Yep.
Yep.
All right, that's the one then.
All right, and we picked up these because they're in excellent shape, but they just need a little tender loving care on the toes. And with the recent tutelage that we've been given, we're confident that we can fix those right up.
Let me put this in here. One.
So that's a pair of shoes, bathing suit.
What else you got there? Shorts?
A bathing suit, so I guess you'd count that as a short.
All right, yep.
And then 2 jeans.
All right, so the shorts, and the shorts were $1. The shoes were $6.50, and the jeans were $1 each. So pretty low price there. Shoes were a bit higher than we wanted to pay, but they're Dansko's. They're, I think they'll sell for a decent amount, maybe 30 to 40 bucks. So we're pretty happy about that.
This extra pair of shoes.
They're not an extra pair of shoes. They're with a different. They're with the other Goodwill. We got a pair of shoes at the other Goodwill as well.
Oh, those are the Blorns that I said.
Yep.
How'd you miss these?
So, there you go. All right, so you got shoes. The Borns. Those are Borns.
Yeah. Yeah, these are a pair of Blorns that I caught right before we left.
She got them. I didn't even get them.
And they're Jason's favorite kind of shoes too, so there you go, pair of shoes.
Slam them down like you just don't even care.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Alright, so
What else you got there, Trixie?
next time we lay them out on the table, I'm not throwing them in the buckets. 1, 2, 3. You got 4 jeans maybe?
I got 3 jeans and a lady's pant.
She counted this as a pant?
Still was $1.
Yeah, alright, so the jeans again, nothing, I don't think anything, American Eagle, nothing really outstanding. I got these so Jason could wear them. I don't know if you can see them, but they're so cool.
They're not for me to wear. I'm
Yeah.
not wearing them.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're
But
not.
they're Oleg Cassini, and they're individually stitched clear sequins. They're pretty cool. So we'll put those in there. What else you got?
Let's see. I probably should mark that as I go. So we got the shoes. The jean, good pants. You got children clothing somewhere. You got a sweater.
They counted the vest as a children's maybe?
Oh yeah, it is.
So did you count those purple ones as pants or?
They're pants.
This vest maybe is a children's?
Yeah, it probably was. So the vest was $1. That was Dollhouse. So for $1, we felt like it would probably go well.
How many total items on that receipt, please, so I know if I match up?
12.
Alright, I got 1. I guess I'm supposed to be showing them.
It's okay.
Purple sweater, I think it was American Eagle. This is a brand new with tags. Liz Claiborne. This is
Sweater.
a very, very pretty
All right.
sweater. So that's
Should be
2
3 sweaters total.
And then Jason threw this one at me because I absolutely love this brand and it sells consistently. We've only ever gotten denim and maybe 1 shirt before, but this is the Quacker Factory. And they're more novelty sort of items. Probably not holding that close enough. So we swooped that one up as well. So 3 sweaters. A skirt for $1.
Hang on. Best. Let me get the 3 sweaters. Got the skirt for.
This is a Ralph Lauren skirt. It's white and you have to be really careful. But if it has a mark at all, it's just one little not even yellow spot that I think I can take care of, but this was just adorable.
All right.
So we got that. Star Wars t-shirt.
That was also $1.
Almost always you can't go wrong with Star Wars. Any Star Wars fans in the house? I know there's a couple in this house.
And there should be maybe one more item, a blazer.
Suit coat, yeah, blazer.
Yep.
And this one, probably another great find by Jason, something silk and luxurious. It's Lubin.
Oh yeah, Lubin. Yeah, there's a brand for you guys. They seem to have pretty good sell through and prices. Lubin. So I did not know the brand, but it was made out of silk, and it looks like it's in great shape. Made in Canada, so that'll be nice for the item description.
So there you go. And what was the total items that should be in this bucket then, please?
It was a total of 12, and I'm pretty sure that's what I've got to here. Yep, that's 12. Yep, we're
and
good.
that was
Sunset Boulevard. GW Sunset
Goodwill
Boulevard.
number 126.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to leave off.
All right. We're good. We're doing great. We're rolling through it. 3 down.
All right, you want to
So-
help with this?
Yep.
Hold on.
All right. Okay, guys. So here's a couple suit coats I picked up. These all ended up being basically $2 a piece. So I was pretty happy about that. This is a Hart, Schaffner and Marks. It is pure silk. So nice little suit coat. I don't remember the size on it.
You had 3 of them.
41 regular, so nothing crazy on the size, but for $2, I mean, if it sells for 30, can't beat that. So put that down there.
3, not 2.
Yeah, 3 suit coats. What did I say?
Yeah.
This is a really nice one, guys. This is a Luciano Barbera. I'm not a suit expert, but from what I've seen, some of these are going for over $100. It is a, I don't know if this one will go for that high or not. Definitely not a suit expert. I'm just starting to learn, and I'm not even at the point where I could be dangerous yet. But this one, I can't find the size on it. I'm pretty sure I found it yesterday, but anyway. Okay, well, maybe I'll just have to measure it and figure it out. But anyway, great brand, Luciano Barbera, and first one I've seen. But again, should go for good money. Even if it goes for $75, I'm in it for $2. And finally, this one is a Polo Ralph Lauren. Obviously, we know that brand, just a blazer. It is a size... Oh, it's got the Union Made tag. Remember we were talking about that yesterday?
Yep.
Oh, this might be really old then, potentially. I don't know. Somebody knows the answer to that. We were talking to, it's a size 30, no, not 36. Size 44 long. So it has a Union Made tag in it. We were talking to Tiffany yesterday and understood that the Union Made tag is something that used to be on clothing. So it sometimes indicates a little more vintage. So I don't know how much this one is. I figure any of these will go for 30, 40, 50 bucks. So for $2, it can't go wrong. And if they're higher than that, great. So 3 suits, $6.
You can go enter them in, and then I'll start the next part.
All
All
right.
right, and this is a new brand for us. It's and I'll say it wrong, so Jane Barnes, Jahine, LeBron James. No, it's not LeBron James, but I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But it's just a nice, lovely, and they apparently do a lot of this kind of funky patterns to their shirts. And this one is pretty sharp. So there's a shirt.
Hang on, I'm not with you,
Yep, I got you. It's fine.
but just so you know, I need a moment to enter all this in.
Yep, it's fine.
Step.
start talking again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so then in this thrift store, we actually were able to meet and take advantage of the buy 5, get 3 free items. So in this case, we have an Ann Taylor Loft denim skirt, and we're typically drawn to anything denim or leather anyway. So there's the skirt, and then we had 5 pair of jeans. And nothing really outstanding. You know, here's a good pair of AGs. I do like them. And
All right.
pair of Lucky brands, some little
All right.
rock pants there. And here's a new brand, but technically they were free. Cavies, C-A-V-I. And I just picked them up because they're different. Can you see the butt?
Oh yeah, those are
They
cool.
just kind of got a different. So honestly, for $1.
Yep.
And technically, we're going to average it into the per item cost. But 3 of these things were free. So instead of putting them as free, we're going to average that in, correct?
Right.
You're not
right.
going to put a 0. And this is something called CJ Blue, which again, never sold it before. But we find that unique-y things like this tend to do very well. And of course, I looked up some comps, and sometimes I can find them, and sometimes I can't. And for $1, I'm willing to take a gamble. And this is something that we'll buy anytime. Yeah, Cabela's. It's just a good big size man pant. And it's got some camouflage on the waist. And these are just some good work pants. They got a little hole in the pocket. Pro tip, and I don't think it bothered me because it wasn't a whole hole, but especially on spandexy kind of jeans with some stretch to them, always check that inside corner pocket, because if it's going to give, for whatever reason, it's going to give right there. And we've gotten better at it, but that is a spot where you can get a hole and find it after the fact. So try to check that when you're in the store, because it's a spot that might come up
Good point.
defective.
So that was like 6 more items, right?
It was, what was it, 5 plus 1?
Yep. Skirt plus the jeans. Yeah.
So what was the total on your receipt? 3,
11
4?
$11 total for the suit coats, the jeans, and the skirt.
So 9 items.
Yes. 6, actually 10. No, 9. You're right. Correct. 9.
So this is our favorite outlet.
Why did we go to 2 different ones, Carmen? Which was the
great.
same one?
Great story, true story. So we went there, and we were late. So it was already crowded, people were there, and there was only 1 row of clothing. And it was pretty picked through, we thought, and it was a little smelly, TBH. The urine was a little overwhelming. But we got through the row, no problem, and then we went to the retail. Well, James went back over and peeked in, and they had put out an entirely new row. So it would behoove us, since we were already there, to go check it out, and we did. And I think they got an extra, 60 pounds out of it?
Yeah.
They had gotten 90 initially, and then another 60. And then we did, what's funny is, this is all we got the first trip that morning. And Jason can tell you on the receipts what the pound difference is. But then this is what we got.
Yeah. It
the
was
second trip.
the first trip we got 6 pounds.
6 pounds? Oh, jeez.
And the second trip we got 21. So over 3 times as much.
So let's see. You want to take a guess for how many items are in there? 27.
Well, it's 27 pounds. No, it's gonna be less than. It's gonna be like 18 or 19.
Oh, then I
Some
thought
of the
it was
jeans weigh
31.
more than a pound.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll edit that part out. I added that.
Now we're keeping it.
Oh.
All right, so we got 1 for jeans, right? Which one do you want in jeans?
Just make it that one on the left.
All right.
Are you gonna say what kind they are? Levi's, nothing special.
Yeah, Levi's 505 straight leg. Nothing crazy. Not even a great size, but great shape. These are, this is not jeans, but I'm going to put it over here.
Oh, that's a great one, yeah.
Yeah, this is a Harley Davidson short all. I believe this would be called, right? Given the link, I don't really think it's an overall.
That's
Pretty good shape. The only thing it's got a little name written inside of it, but so what? It's not going to bother anything. I think it's a size large, which is nice.
It's adorable.
Yeah, I got the big patch on the back. Harley Davidson, great brand. Really can't go wrong with them. We'll leave it there for the moment until we get our totals.
Yeah, and this was, I have no idea what this is. Who got this? It's a denim skirt. I just don't know whose. What the heck?
We had it's a mystery denim skirt.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
the limited.
Yeah.
Alright, so Denim Skirt.
This is a Marie St. Clair.
That was a good thing. It's a dress, new with tags. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. But I just grabbed it. It's lightweight. It originally sold for $160. It's a small, but anyway, it's
pretty good shape.
It's pretty good shape, and it's, you know, somebody will buy it.
$160 originally, can't go wrong. Leave that there for the moment.
Coldwater Creek, size 14. Really soft, really nice pair of jeans here. Love them.
Another 515 Levi's, nothing fancy. Bread and butter.
Another pair of limited. And, you know, we expand on our brands a little bit when we're at the bins, at the outlet, because they're less than $1 a piece sometimes.
Yep.
So there you go.
529 skinny leg Kirby's, Levi's. Again, bread and butter, nothing crazy.
And here's some more miscellaneous. Whenever we can get scrubs, they're really lightweight, so they're cheap to ship. But these are new with tags, and I don't know this particular brand, but it's peaches and it's like a fall color. And you know, we might have to sit on it, but
yeah, maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows, right?
This is a, let's look at the size. Tommy Hilfiger pair of shorts, just very light. I mean, obviously this can go first class. I don't know what this sells for, but I imagine it's worth at least probably 10, 12, maybe $15, somewhere in there.
Little bit of a gamble. It's a brand and a texture that we're familiar with.
Yep.
It's small, it's lightweight, summer's coming, so we grabbed it. This is a Champion jacket for Purdue alumni. A little bit also of a gamble. It's just a school, nice cover up, who knows.
Yep.
Oh, here. Purdue.
All right. And this is a Bobby Brooks shirt, women's shirt. It's got some nice embroidery on it. Size medium, not a crazy size, but again, it'll probably go first class, I would think. So cheap to ship, should at least bring 10, 12 bucks.
This is a nice brand, Rough Hewn. This is a suede jacket, and it has some makeup stains around the neck, and then I think it also might have had one little spot. And we decided to go ahead and get it because the price was right, but I also figured since we're getting into some more leather conditioning and cleaning and such, that worst case, this could be my test piece, and then that way you're not having to give up screw up on a pair of shoes or a jacket
right.
that you currently own. So this one, if I can get it cleaned up, should go for, it's in great shape, it's beautiful.
This is a pair of cinch relaxed fit jeans. I've actually not sold this brand before. I've probably seen one or two. It's a Western style jean, basically.
Cowboy pants.
Right, yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. You can call anything that. But it is new with tags. It's a good size. 38. Man, these are long. So
Let me see that.
I don't know what I'm going to sell these for, but with that, yeah, look at the size. Like, that's how tall they are. So this is obviously for a guy who's like probably 6'7", 6'8". I mean, he's pretty tall. He's wearing a 38.
12 feet tall.
So I'm going to put a good price on these. I might put like $35 on these, honestly. And they probably cost me, these obviously weigh more than a pound. They probably cost me, you know, $2.50, maybe even $3, but great deal.
Black pair of Levi's. Are these super lows? No, mid-rise skinnies. Can't go wrong with those.
This is a little Banana Republic women's sweater. Just nice little sweater. Nothing in the world wrong with it. It's wool and Angora, so Banana Republic stuff is pretty expensive when you first buy it. So again, lightweight, should fetch a decent price.
This was a gift I was given. It's a white-black skirt. It's not white and black, of course. That's the name of the store. But look how pretty that is. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And that should sell well as well.
Yep. This is a Paul Frederick sweater. I don't know if you can see that tag there. And it's really nice sweater. Really like this one, men's sweater. I don't really wear sweaters, but if I did, I'd probably wear stuff like this. It's a good brand, Paul Frederick. So I don't know if I can ship this first class run. It might be over a pound. It's kind of heavy. But still, the soles I was looking at, you know, might bring $20, 25. So good deal for that.
All right, here is another new with tags Croft and Barrow shirt.
Yeah, it's just new with tags. That's the only reason I got it.
Okay.
Probably, maybe first class, maybe not. Might be a heavy.
Yeah, it's not
Brand new, Croft & Barrow. Not a high-end brand, but new with tags. Can't go too wrong.
and these are just a pair of Timberland shorts.
Got a little mark on them.
One
But-
little bleach blotch.
That actually might not be a bad thing with these.
Yeah, but they're in good shape. Timberland's not bad. And again, we're trying to
Are you leaving these out?
yeah, you can talk about those because you were talking about them in the outlet.
Huh.
But it's summer, so shorts are good. So this is another one that we don't usually get, Rocky Outdoor Gear, but it's a nice pair of men's cargo pants. If you can see the butt on that one.
Yeah, they're kind of carpenter-ish.
Yeah,
That little thing over there, nice.
so those should do well.
I think originally carpenters would put like a tool here.
A
why
hammer.
Yeah, like a hammer or whatever. This is a pair of Levi 540s. They're not like super valuable or anything, but I've actually never found 540s before. And I think they're basically, I think this is considered an acid wash, which was a bigger style maybe back in the 80s than it is today. But now it's a little bit harder to find them. So I'm really curious how old this jean is. Hard to tell. Maybe it could have been reproduced. That's possible as well. Doesn't even have any size info inside, so it'll just be measurements. But sometimes when you can buy these older vintage type items like this, they can be worth it. So I took a flyer on it, just kind of looking at it. But again, for basically $2 price for is what jeans average out, I don't think I can go wrong.
And the last piece, a t-shirt. Dun dun dun! How timely is that? And we better sell it quick, just in case.
Just in case they lose.
So,
and they might.
A nice ladies t-shirt for Atlanta. Very cool.
All right, I think that does it.
So once we get everything back from the store and we check it in, put it on our inventory list, this is where it comes to sit, preferably for shorter amounts of time. So we label everything, that's so that we can keep track of it along each stage. But this side is on deck. So all of these things have been checked in, and once they get to this point, on deck means that I need to take it and quality control it. So then it'll go back to me. And I realize there's a lot of back and forth here. We're doing business out of our home currently. We haven't moved into a bigger warehouse space yet, and that won't occur for several months. So we can't keep all of our staging area in the same room that we process and photograph. So we get it. There's a lot of back and forth, but it is what it is. So from on deck, it gets quality controlled. I put everything under the lights to make sure we're going to keep it and want to sell it. We don't want any not as advertised, not as described or whatever. So that's here. And then once it's been quality controls, it comes back to here for bag and tag. And what that term means to us is that Jason is then going to take it back and add it more specifically to the inventory list. And what he does is he creates from the Dymo printer, he'll create a label that is the first line of our listing, and then it also becomes the first line of our inventory tag. It'll include the item number for us and ultimately where it's going to go in inventory. It has the measurements, and then it also has what we're going to sell it for, although that can change, and what the shipping will be. So that way, in any phase along this process, someone else can come in, take a bucket, and know exactly what needs to be done next because of how we've set it up to be successful. So from bag and tag, it goes in there, and then it will end up on the shelves where it says to photograph and then ultimately to list.
Okay guys, so this is all the items after we've gone through them. We've intaken these items. We've got our tracking sheet on each bucket so we can follow it along its process and we know exactly where it's at. So right now it's just here on the floor because we are really out of space. So we are definitely going to be listing items, intaking them, quality controlling them, and moving them on. And this is the system basically that what will happen is we actually have items in the other room that I will go in and create the item specifics. And then what happens is Karin will quality control them. Then she will, we will create a tag that looks something like this. You can see in there we have the actual item number, the SKU, the location, the type of item it is, measurements, as well as what we intend to charge for it, although sometimes I change that, and what we intend to charge for shipping. So we could hand that to someone and they could create a listing straight from that tag. They don't need any more information than that. All they have to do is match it up to the photos. So basically what happens is items come in, we check them in, we then go through a quality control process. Karin goes through over at her station, which is over here. You can see, and she checks them to make sure they don't have any issues. You're like Vanna White showing that to everybody. It was nice. And then after that, they go to another spot to be bagged and tagged, which is actually in the other room. And I grab the bucket, bring it back to my workstation, bag and tag the item. Once I'm done with that, I put them down here on one of these two shelves that say need to be photoed. You can see there. And Karin knows to take that bin and photograph them. Now we're also keeping track of the count of the items as we go, because we start a bucket maybe with 12 items, but sometimes there's a defect or somebody just miscounted, and we're signing off on as we go to that way. So if we have an employee, that way we will know if there's a problem in the process, exactly where the problem occurred, we can correct it. That's the nice thing about these little forms that Karin's created. So after the items go, after the bucket comes here to the photo station, she'll take the photos and then she moves it back up to one of these shelves that say need to be listed. Then I take the item, bring them over to my Mac, list the item, and then I actually usually set them here on this table. As I'm listing, you see I've got some here today. I've got a stack of about, I think 11, 6 and 5. And those just need to go up in inventory. Those got listed earlier today. I will take those upstairs, we'll list or put those in inventory, and then that's where they'll sit until they sell. And we also have a bucket over here too, I'll show you, that is our defects, flaws, things that we will end up donating back and getting some credit, you know, end of month, end of year wise, as far as our taxes and so on. There's some advantage you can do there. Just talk to your professionals about that. So anything you want to add, Karin?
No, we have a lot to list, so we need to get listing.
Yeah, so the boss lady has spoken, so I think it's time to go.
Show and tell is over.
Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, so we've gotten the total from all of our trips yesterday, and we got a total of 54 items, which was pretty good between all the stores, thrift stores, Goodwills, and the bin store. We spent a total of just $83. I don't know if you guys can see it down here. $83.42, which is an average of $1.54 per item, which I think is fantastic. Don't you, Karin?
I do.
So that's a good trip. I mean, we're really trying to focus on keeping our per price item down this year, because we realize that, you know, savings you get right in the beginning is money that's still in your pocket. You don't have to wait for the item to sell, if you know, versus, you know, if you price something higher. So we're trying to keep our margin really good right off the bat, because last year our average price was over $5 an item, and this year it's starting to trend down under 5, which is great, and it's going to get even lower as we continue this bin strategy. I predict we're going to be down in the $2 and something range by the end of the year, more than likely, which will put thousands of dollars in our pockets for just literally doing what we were doing last year, just changing where we're sourcing. So we're really excited about that. Not sure how much that $83 is going to turn into. That's going to take a little bit more research to figure out as we go through this listing process. But that's it, guys. So that was our haul. That was our trip. That was how we sort out our items, and we will be back to you with another video real soon. Thanks for watching.